And we are back on the high school football scoreboard. We want to go back to the telephone now. And joining us is Westbrook Coach Steve Smith. Good evening, Coach. Welcome into scoreboard and congratulations. A 9-1 regular season, a number 2 seed out of 3A Region 6, and a 48-6 win over Walter Wellborn tonight. Big night for Westbrook.
A great night for the Westbrook Warriors. Our guys, we had a lot to play for tonight. You know, we're in a situation where we needed to win the game to be a number 2 seed and host the first round, and our guys went out. I thought we played extremely well, especially in the first half.
Coach, it's been about 4 years, I believe, since Westbrook has been to the playoffs, so it's going to be the first experience for these guys going to the playoffs. I know they're going to enjoy this experience, but this team has really played well throughout the season, 9-1, and you've been dominant in most of the games that you played this year.
We've had a good season. You know, the guys have really bought into what we've been trying to do. A lot of these guys are 3-year starters for us now, and we've got some experience there, and it's just a tremendous group of guys to coach. I'm telling you, it's a real joy to have these guys each and every day. We have a great time with them. They're real receptive to whatever we try to teach them, and they went on the field and they executed for the most part all year long at a high level. And I'm very, very proud of the guys, the coaches, and everyone that's contributed to be in this position.
Well, Coach, you talked about this team tonight. They came ready to play. Walter Wellborn comes in 5-3. They had something on the line, too, tonight. But you came out and, again, kind of controlled the game from the get-go and winning tonight 48-6. Talk about some big plays in the game for your team.
Well, it was the same recipe that's been successful for us this year. I think the first half, I know we kicked off to start the game. I won't say we kicked off. I think we kicked off 7 times in the first half, and all of them were touchbacks. And tribute to our kicker, Lee Barber. He does an outstanding job. So all their possessions started on the 20. We had an interception. We blocked a punt. We had a piece of another punt that was kind of a short punt. I don't know, Jeff, but I'm pretty sure that most of the possession we had in the first half started on their side of the 50. And, you know, when you're setting your offense up on a short field like that, and we're able to hit a couple of big pass plays and bust a couple runs. So we got off to a really fast start, but it was really.
Did we lose him? Coach, did we lose you? It sounded like he just cut off. So we'll try to get Coach Smith back on the line, but we just cut off right in the middle of those words. But one of the things I was going to ask him, Phil, and if we get him back, I want to ask him, because I was talking this week to Drew Knowles, who coached down there a couple of years ago. He was talking about this, I think his name's Reed Barber, their kicker, how good that young man is as a kicker, much like Hayden Chambers up at Fort Payne, that every kick, when he kicks off, the other team starts at the 20-yard line. Yeah. I mean, there's never a run back, because in high school, if it goes into the end zone, crosses the goal line, I don't know if most people understand it, there's a dead ball. So if it goes in the end zone, you can't run it out, and you have to start at the 20. And when you have to start at the 20 and you've got to drive 80 yards on every possession.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. And, you know, of course, speaking of Hayden Chambers, he had a 54-yard field goal last night in the Fort Payne game. Well, me and my wife, we go to Tennessee ball games, and I'm sure you see this too. When they kick off in SEC ball games, the back guy that's supposed to receive the kickoff will always, if he's not going to field the ball, he'll just do that where his fist's out. So me and Christy was doing that during the Fort Payne and Pelham game, that every time Chambers kicks off, you're going to be the back guy, just might as well do that, because you're going to be starting from the 20-yard line. And that is so great to be able to do that, because to get a high school team to drive 80 yards without making a mistake is near impossible without a chunk play.
And again, in the kicking game in high school, most of them don't have great punters. So if you can get them to start at the 20-yard line, you hold them, then you're probably going to get good field position. Have we got him back?
I think he's calling in and waiting on them to pick him up.
Okay. We'll try to get him back. But again, when you've had, in that situation, he was talking about the team getting a couple of block kicks or got piece of kicks where the team would start in good field position. So let's see, have we got him back yet, Trey? Have we got Coach Smith? Can we get you, Coach? Are you back?
I'm back. I don't know what happened there, Chip. I was talking away. I have no idea when I lost.
Hey, Coach, you know what day it is?
Halloween.
It's Halloween.
It is Halloween. It's trick or treat night. So you got tricked by somebody tonight. But one thing we were talking about, Coach, while we were trying to get you back, is how important it is. You were talking about, I think his last name's Barber. I think you said it was Reed.
Yes.
How important it is. And how confident it is for you as a coach standing on the sideline to know when you start the game or you score, you kick off in the second half, that the other team's going to start at the 20-yard line. You're going to have them in poor field position, and they're going to have to drive 80 yards. If you can hold them, then you've got a chance to get good field position on every possession.
That's it. And that's what's worked for us this year, for the most part. I think somebody said that Reed had kicked off 62 times this year in 10 games, and 57 of them were touchbacks. So, us coaches, we get frustrated a lot of times with special teams and not covering well or giving up big returns. And with the high school rules where they are, where you can't bring it out of the end zone, it's very comforting to know that when he's putting it in the end zone, that you're letting the other team start on the 20 each time and greatly, enhance your chances of being able to get the ball back in good field position. So it's been what's worked for us all year long, and we're very, very thankful to have a kicker like Reed Barber that can put the ball in the end zone on a regular basis and set the other team up with a long field. And like I said, our defense tonight played really, really well in the first half. I think we had, in those possessions, 5 3-and-outs and an interception. So we played a lot of the first half on their side of the 50.
Coach, I call them the killer bees because they're Bo and Brody and Brady, I think. I know there's 5 of them there that seem like every time I pick up the newspaper, they're the guys that's scoring touchdowns and leading this team, starting with your quarterback, Brody Blevins, who I understand is just a great athlete.
He's a great athlete, a great leader for us. He's played really well this year for us. Everybody in our skill positions. We got Brody Wood at running back, and then we got Brody Johnson at receiver, Bo Kilgo at receiver, and Beckham Hammondtree at receiver. And so our Lone Ranger that's not a B is Maximus Jones, and he plays what we call the B-back position. So it's kind of funny that everybody, has a name that starts with a B, but we're blessed with some skill guys. Those guys are all seniors with the exception of quarterback Blevins is a junior. And, each and every one of those guys contributed tonight in some shape, form, or fashion as far as the offensive production, and very, very thankful to have all of them. They've really grown as players. They complement each other really well, and so it was a good night all around for us.
Coach, I want you to talk about the defense because it's been so good this year. Looking at the scores this year, 7 games that you've held the other team to 1 score. 7 of the 10 games. That's outstanding on the season.
No doubt. It starts with our defense coordinator, Brad Lowe. He has done an outstanding job this year. He's one of the most attention and detail people I've ever been around. He does a really good job of getting a plan together, and then on that side of the ball, Wayne Lee coaches our linebacker, Sean Smith coaches our defensive line, and Jimmy Easterwood coaches our secondary. I'm just amazed each and every week with the job that they do of preparing the kids and the film study and the breakdown and things that they do with the defensive side of the ball, and having a great plan and the kids going out and executing it. It's been really a lot of fun to watch, and we're fairly young on the defensive side. We've got 2 senior starters on the defensive side. Jake Haney plays nose guard, and Luke Thompson plays free safety. The rest of the guys on the defensive side are either 9th, 10th, or 11th graders, and they've just gotten better and better as the year went on. Been very pleased with the kids on that side of the ball. Been very pleased with our team in general, but it's been a noticeable step forward by our defense from last year to this year, and we still have a little bit of an Achilles heel, so to speak, of giving up a big play, and that's something that's frustrating from time to time to everyone. But for the most part, those guys have done a great job all year long.
I got one more question before Phil's got a couple for you, Coach. But I believe when you were mentioning defensive coaches there, did I hear Sean Smith? Is that the Sean Smith that's related to Steve Smith?
It is. It's my oldest son, and he's helping us out here this year, and very thankful to have him there. He does a great job at the D-line, And he's a lot closer to these kids' age than me and the rest of the old guys on the team. So he kind of relate a lot more to 2025 teenagers are thinking than I can. But it's been a real joy to have him out there with us. He helped us the last couple of years while he's finishing up his degree, working with our middle school team. And this year he's helping us on the varsity level. So I'm just glad to have him. It's a real treat for me as a dad to be able to have him out there on the field with us.
Well, Coach, I want to go back to what we had talked about earlier, special teams. On a podcast, I had Coach Rusty Jakeaway on, and I don't think he was surprised by the question, but Coach Jakeaway won a lot of football games with his emphasis on special teams. I'm sure you put a big special emphasis on that, and I'm going to bet you've won a lot of ball games doing that.
Well, it's so crazy that you don't have good special teams. You really realize how much you miss it. We do spend a lot of time on it, and we were very fortunate tonight. I mean, just tonight alone, our special teams, we blocked the punt. We returned the kickoff, second half kickoff for a touchdown. We were 6 out of 6 on our PATs, and we had 2 out of 2 on made field goals. And we had 7 or 8 touchbacks on kickoffs. And then we punted one time, and it was a 52-yard punt that we down inside the 5. So just things of that nature, that you see them in the game, and a lot of times people, I guess, don't place as much value on them because it's not offense or it's not defense, but so many of those plays that can help you win football games. And Wayne Lee, the coach of our linebackers, is also our special teams coordinator, and he does a great job each week of giving us a good game plan and goes over that game plan with the kids just like we do the offensive side. And myself and Rob McHugh, Adam Brown, and Matt Brown working with the offensive guys. And then I mentioned the guys that coach on the defensive side of the ball. Just, placing the emphasis still on those plays being important. Tonight we wind up grading our film. We will have played probably 20 to 25 snaps tonight of special teams.
Yeah.
And 11 people doing their job every time on those things. You really can watch it. All it takes is one person to not do their job and really blow up something on a special team. And, our kids have been really, really good about buying in this year to those plays being just as important and playing those plays. And we've got probably 4 or 5 guys that don't start on offense, don't start on defense, but they may get 15 snaps on special teams. And, taking those plays just as seriously as we would if we were offense or defense has been a big part of our success.
Yeah, role players, you got to have them naturally. Well, Coach,
right.
This is kind of a 2-part thing, but I want to ask you about this. Your trip over to Trine, great atmosphere, great football program. Did you get a lot out of that football game playing in that atmosphere? Because it probably was a playoff type atmosphere.
Oh, we certainly did. And that was probably one of the most fun games I've been involved with in my coaching career, because the way it started. I mean, we were 3 and out our first 2 possessions, punted, had them, inside their 20, and they went 2 plays on the first drive, touchdown, and about 5 plays on the second drive, touchdown. It's 14-0, and it wasn't looking good for the Warriors, that's for sure. We had to do something to stop the bleeding, and we were able to put together a drive and went down and scored about the middle of the second quarter. They hit another big play for a touchdown, and we scored right before the half. So we were in the ball game, but that atmosphere of that type of environment, that type of crowd, and then our crowd got behind us, and we took the lead. They tied it with another long play, and we lined up to kick a game-winning field goal, and we didn't handle the snap, and so it went into overtime. We scored, and then we stopped them. The Georgia overtime, it's kind of like the college rule, but instead of starting at 25, you start at the 15. You can make a first down at the 5, and so that was kind of real nerve-wracking, but we were able to score on our possession and then stop them on a 4th down play about 2 yards short. And, you'd have thought it was a playoff-type game with the excitement that we had on our sideline and all, but it was a fun game against a really, really good team at Trine, and, it was a big win for us.
Yeah, I've been over there twice to see Gordon Lee play, and it's just a great atmosphere. The other thing I wanted you to comment on, that night was your 300th win. And I know coaches don't really like monuments like that. You kind of sort of look back on that later. But the reason I wanted to point this out, yeah, it's 300 wins for you, but it shows to me also you have had a positive impact on a lot of lives.
I appreciate you saying that. That's what it's really all about. We as competitors, we all want to win every game, no doubt it. But you've done it. One thing it indicates to you, you've done it for a long time. I've been very fortunate to be able to hold a job as a head coach, for 31 years. I'm very thankful for the opportunity I had at Cedar Bluff, at Piedmont, and now here at Westbrook Christian, and worked for some great administrators, people that really took chances on me and gave me second chances, and I've mentioned that before. Lots of loyal assistant coaches that have been right there with me through, 15 to 20 years of that 31-year run, and great communities that all, supported the football program, supported athletics in general. The faculties and the fans and the boosters and all those people that have played an integral part in supporting the teams, and most importantly, just great players. I've been very lucky to have great players at all three stops, guys that were willing to be coached and let you coach them hard and push them past their limits sometimes, or at least what they thought their limits were, and then the satisfaction of seeing them come together as a team and achieve very rewarding profession. I think that we should all be very thankful for the opportunity to get to be high school football coaches, and it's not always glorious every single day, but it's a great opportunity every single day to hopefully make an impact on some young teenage boys that are going to be young men, that hopefully they can look back and say you had a positive impact on their life. And just hearing from the guys that I've coached over the years, not a day goes by that I don't hear from somebody, and I feel very blessed and fortunate to have got to do this for a long time.
Well, Coach, before we let you go, I want you to comment. Next week be a home playoff game. That's what every team plays for when you start the season. I know that's one of your goals. You're going to have your first playoff game as a head coach at Westbrook. It's going to be next week against the Vinemont Eagles, and I know you guys will be ready for that one.
Yes, sir. Excited about it. Don't know a whole lot about Vinemont. Obviously, we're pretty good separation between the two schools, but all I need to know about Vinemont is I think 3 weeks ago they went over to Gordo and knocked off Gordo, and that's an attention grabber for anybody. Gordo, perennially a top 10 team in this state. I think they might have been top 3 at that time. And for Vinemont to go on the road and knock Gordo off in a region game, it definitely caught everybody in the state's attention. So, we're expecting a great Vinemont team to roll into Rainbow City next Friday night, and hopefully we can have a great week of preparation and go out there and execute and perform well.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the win tonight, the number 2 seed, 9-1 regular season, and we wish you the best of luck in the playoffs, and thanks for visiting with us tonight on Scoreboard.
I appreciate y'all having me on, Jeff. So y'all have a great night.
That's Coach Steve Smith. Phil, he's now 303 in 90 in 31 seasons. So that's about 10 wins a year. That's a pretty good career, isn't it?
Get quick math again.
Thank you, sir. But now, Coach Smith is a great one. I remember years ago when he was at Cedar Bluff, and I was out visiting coaches. He took me to lunch there at Cedar Bluff at Fibber's Cafe. It's not there anymore, but it was a great place to eat, and I always enjoyed visiting with Coach Smith. And I've been doing this 36 years. He's been doing it 31. We visited for about 31 years now. Consider him a good friend, and congratulations to him. And we got some 300-game winners around here.
Yeah, definitely so. And the one thing about Coach Smith, though, I think the world of him. He's a great guy, but I do not want to be on the opposite sideline from him, because I don't think I'm going to fare too well.
And I want to tell this story before we go to break. I guess it's storytelling time. Years ago, it's probably been 12 or 15 years ago when Coach Smith was at Piedmont, he kept saying, "You need to come to one of our games." I said, "Coach, I can't come to one of your games. He said, "We'll play on Thursday night." So they ended up playing Leeds on Thursday night. He wanted me to come to Piedmont because they tailgate. Mm-hmm. Now, when I say they tailgate behind the visitor stands there at Piedmont, and what a great time. We went over there 2 years in a row on a Friday night. Were you with us then?
Yes, I was. Yeah.
So we had a great, you go into that little house that they had, and all they had was in there was food.
Yeah, and if you didn't eat, they were insulted.
And I ate. I didn't want to insult anybody.
They would have been insulted if you didn't eat. It would have like if you'd have been Phil, I don't want that.
Phil, that's why I win.
Yeah.